Good evening. Welcome to ThaiPBS English News Service. I'm Supachon Klinswan. Provincial Police Region 7 have uncovered a major drug trafficking network in the northern region and confiscated an estimated 1.7 million amphetamine tablets with a market value of over 500 million baht, found hidden in a townhouse in Krathumban district, ready to be sold. Over 50 police officers surrounded a townhouse in the Siwarat 3 housing estate located in Omnoy sub-district of Samut Sangkhon's Krathumban district and arrested 4 members of a major northern narcotics ring. Shong Hua Sa Ju, Gua Thai, Sa Chang, Xiao Sư, Sa He, and Burmese national Pan Pan have now been taken to the Krathumban police district to be questioned. Police also confiscated over 1.7 million amphetamine pills with a street value of over 500 million baht. Deputy Provincial Police Region 7 Commander, Police Major General Poon Saprasertpon said police discovered that the townhouse had been rented since October the 1st as a storage place for the drugs which came from the Talat Thai market in Pathum Thani province. One of the suspects claims that the orders for the amphetamines were from his Shan friend who called from his prison cell. The bulk of the order was supposed to be sent to another dealer in Bang Len district of Nakhon Pathom. And moving down to the Deep South, more shops in the Deep South provinces seem more confident of the beefed-up security measures and decided to open for business today, despite insurgents' warning of violence in retaliation. However, a large number of shops did remain scared for their safety and decided to stay closed. Insurgents have, for the past few weeks, declared Friday a day off in the Muslim-majority Deep South. However, more shops in Pattani's Te Sawat market did open this Friday when compared to last week. The situation was similar in markets in Yala and Narathiwat, where more vendors opened their shops today, thanks to tough safety measures imposed by authorities. However, some 40% of shops remain closed. However, the Deep South Civil Society Council says the government should not push for shops to open on Fridays in retaliation against the insurgents, as this will force the citizens to choose sides. He claims shops will open automatically if they are confident of their safety. The Army commander says the increased number of shops opening today reflects that residents of the Deep South are more confident in official safety measures. Police, soldiers, and governors will keep a close eye on the situation while assuring locals can live their lives as normally as possible. The Thai Chamber of Commerce expects some 37 billion baht to be spent during the Vegetarian Festival, which takes place next week. Meanwhile, drought and floods have pushed up the retail price of fruit and vegetables. The 10-day Vegetarian Festival starts on Monday. Thais call this period as Thesakan Gin Jae. The reason the Thai Chamber of Commerce University's Economic Forecast Center believes this year's expenditure will be higher than the previous years is because 2012 marks the 2,600th celebration of Lord Buddha's enlightenment, and the average follower of this merit-making festival will spend an average of 8,000 baht over the week. This is a 9.5% rise compared to last year, and the 37 billion baht spent during the Vegetarian Festival this year will top figures of the past 5 years. While commerce officials search for high prices of vegetables, the retail prices of fruit and vegetables in market across Thailand are already high due to the floods and drought over the past few weeks, which have reduced vegetable supply. Meanwhile, public health officials are checking for possible contamination of produce with food-preserving substances, which may be dangerous to consumers. The unit is asking the public who plan to participate in this festival to thoroughly clean all fruit and vegetables before consumption. The Bangkok governor and head of the government's water management team met today and developed a better understanding about the implementation of sandbags. The two parties have also agreed on measures to prevent future flooding in the capital city.
Bangkok Governor Sukhumpan Boripat and Science Minister, who is head of the Water and Flood Management Commission or KPO, brought Prasop Suraswadi, met behind closed doors today. At the end of the meeting, the two came out and told the press that they have reached a common understanding about keeping the capital city dry when massive amount of water drained down from the north or when heavy rains hit the metropolis. The governor and the Water and Flood Management Commission had agreed to use the floodgate system, which will automatically control the sluice gates and sewers, instead of the sandbags currently in place. The government says it is willing to invest in and install the so-called floodgates, as it will require large amounts of money. The BMA governor also agreed to remove sandbags installed in certain sewers around the city, even though he believed that the bag installation is an important part of the strategy to keep the water pumps working efficiently. The disagreement between Mr. Broadprasop and the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration came to a head on Tuesday when the head of the Water Management Unit ordered the BMA to remove all sandbags installed in the city drains within 15 days. The Bangkok governor refused, saying the city drains are under his sole jurisdiction.
And still on the issue of water, the water levels in many reservoirs in the northeast region are so low that they are approaching critical condition. The water is now below 50% of total capacity. Farmers in the region are experiencing drought in crops in many provinces will soon begin to die off. Farmers in the sub-district of Lampu in Nong Bua Lampu province are pumping water into their fields after a month-long period of drought. The lack of irrigation has caused widespread crop disease and many paddy fields have dried out completely. Provincial Governor Rapi Pongbupakit has been coordinating with the Bureau of Royal Rainmaking in the northeast to speed up the process of making artificial rain to ease farmers' distress. Farmers in the sub-district of Thatu Mueang district of Mahasarakam province are also starting to be affected after officials from the Bureau of Water Drawing, responsible for maintaining and developing the Shi River Basin, reduced the amount of water flowing from Wangyang Dam to just enough for consumption throughout the dry season. The water remaining in the Ubonrat Reservoir in Khon Kaen province is now only 1.12 billion cubic meters, or 46% from the total water storage capacity. The director of the hydroelectric power stations in the northeastern region says water currently flowing into the reservoir is only 4 million cubic meters per day, while the reservoir has to release 5 million cubic meters daily to provide enough to supply the farmers for their irrigation needs. Director of a meteorological station in Kalasin province warned farmers to downsize their farming area, especially the out-of-season rice plantations, after discovering that the water level in the Lampao Reservoir is only 462 million cubic meters, or 23% of the total capacity. This is the lowest level in 20 years. The Meteorological Office and health officials are warning locals in the north and northeast to beware of heavy mist, which arrives along with the cold weather. Some hilltop areas saw temperatures drop to 9.5 degrees Celsius. The Meteorological Department says a moderately high-pressure area covering Upper Thailand is weakening. However, cool weather in the morning will continue to affect the north and upper northeast. Heavy mist is covering many areas in the north in the early mornings. Motorists are advised to turn on their headlights and reduce speed due to limited visibility. The top of Intanon Mountain saw the temperature fall to 9.5 degrees Celsius, while another tourist hotspot in Leh province, Phu Ria, is also seeing temperatures as low as 11 degrees. However, the average temperatures in the north and upper northeastern provinces will be around 22 to 23 degrees in the morning. However, the Met Office says the easterly winds will hopefully bring moisture from the South China Sea and the Gulf of Central, East and the South, causing widely scattered showers in some areas. Another factor which Thais should keep an eye on is Typhoon Prapirun in the Pacific Ocean, which will move closer to Japan between October 15th and the 18th. Analysts say the storm does stand a small chance of changing course towards Southeast Asia. The ASEAN Secretary General says every country in this region must come up with a master plan to prevent loss caused by natural disasters. Meanwhile, a UN disaster expert says women in this region, if given the opportunity, will be able to help reduce risks and damage from natural disasters. ASEAN Secretary General Surin Pisuwan says every country should come up with disaster risk preparations and management plans for decreasing losses caused by the numerous disasters to hit Asia over the past several years and for the future. October 13 of every year is the ASEAN Day for Disaster Management and International Day for Disaster Reduction. The ASEAN Secretary General stated that disaster management and preparedness has become crucial since ASEAN people have recently faced multiple disasters, for example earthquakes, floods and tsunamis, many as a result of global warming and climate change. Cooperation and sharing of information among ASEAN countries is also essential. Meanwhile, a special representative from the UN Secretary General for Disaster Risk Reduction strongly encouraged women in this part of the world to engage more in disaster management and in reducing the risk from disasters. The UN envoy pointed out that the role of women in disaster reduction has to be encouraged as there are not enough men to monitor and solve disaster-related issues, which are likely to increase. Today, women leaders from Cambodia, Indonesia, Myanmar, Laos, Philippines, Thailand and Vietnam who have made significant contributions to reducing disaster risk received awards from the ASEAN Secretary General, Surin Pitsuwan. The aim is to support women and girls in helping their communities protect themselves from natural disasters. Yupin Kamnin, a Thai woman who won an award, said that women will have a greater involvement in disaster risk management in the future since they have unique characteristics such as gentleness and soft-heartedness, enabling easy collaboration between all agencies. And today a memorial event was held on the Indonesian island of Bali to remember those who lost their lives on the island during the twin bombing attacks 10 years ago.
The memorial held at Garuda Wisnu Kencana Park in Jimbaran also called for world peace and an end to violence against civilians. Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard said that the date on which the bombing attacks occurred in 2002 is unforgettable, as it had claimed 202 innocent people's lives, of which 88 were Australian. Gillard added that now is the time for people around the world to combat terrorism. Bali Governor Imade Pastika called on people from all walks of life to join hands in waging the war against terrorism and all kinds of violence. The governor said that they're not condemning certain religions, but are condemning those who carry out brutal attacks in the name of religion. Indonesian Foreign Affairs Minister Marty Natalegawa said that the commemoration is a reminder to the global community to strengthen commitments to combat terrorism and violence perpetrated by extremists and improve mutual understanding between different communities in the world. Natalegawa also extended respect and gratitude to people who had perished in the event and those who helped the victims a decade ago. John Howard, who was Australian Premier at the time of the attacks, also attended the memorial. The candlelight ceremony featured 22 survivors and members of the victims' families, representing 22 countries whose citizens were victims of the blasts. Hugh Adams, Thai PBS.
Thank you, Hugh, and that's all the time we have for tonight's edition of Thai PBS English News Service. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again Monday. I'm Super Junklin Swan. สวัสดีครับ